Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for someone with Shyness. And Shyness is a particular form of social anxiety where, more often than not, men in public environments, particularly urinals, where there is no physical barrier between other men, have an inability to pee in those kind of environments. And quite often the things that can exacerbate that are how busy it is, if there is people waiting, the proximity to the closest urinal. All of these things can make it worse. And it can lead to people in this loop where the harder they try to pee, then the more difficult it becomes. And the more conscious they become of how long it's taken, the more they unconsciously think that other people are judging them or thinking that they can't go to the toilet, which then makes it even worse. And quite often the coping strategy for men in this situation is to pretend they've gone to the toilet and leave, but obviously they still need to go to the toilet, or to find something in an enclosure, quite often a stall, where they will go in privacy. This hypnosis session, however, is designed to tackle it from a different way. And then it uses principles like certain performance enhancement and performance anxiety hypnosis, certain elements of the law of reverse effect, because that's kind of what's happening, is that the harder they try to pee, the more difficult it becomes. So we inverse that. Future pacing using disassociation, so they see the future version of them totally fine in the same situation, and even disassociation from context, that they just imagine the version of them that can't pee has to wait outside while the version of them that clearly can pee, because they can pee in private and they can pee in stalls, goes to the urinal. So there are various things happening here. It was created for an individual, therefore not all of the suggestions will take into account your situation because it was created for someone else. So if this helps, then great. But if you feel like you would want something more bespoke, or it doesn't quite fit what your anxiety or experience is, there will be a link in the description where you can schedule a completely free consultation call to explore working with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that feeling of calm relaxation. And as you exhale, feel that wonderful sense of release, particularly around your eyelids, your forehead, your jaw. So much so that with every outward breath, you feel yourself drifting into a place of deeper and deeper relaxation. That's it. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a frozen stream somewhere out in nature, in a rugged landscape. But I want you to see a stream that is frozen solid. Imagine it being picturesque, beautiful, serene even. But I want you to imagine standing by the side of that frozen stream and imagine the season is changing, shifting from winter to spring. And I want you to imagine seeing blue skies and bright sunshine. And I want you to imagine what it would look like and sound like for that frozen stream to thaw, to gradually, breath by breath, start to melt away that frozen stream. So eventually what was frozen, locked, and static and still starts to flow and move and allow the frozen stream to represent not just any tension and stress in your body that is melting away breath by breath, but I want you to imagine that the frozen stream represents something you used to believe about something you can or cannot do. So as you breathe in and breathe out, see that belief represented in the frozen stream also melting away. That's it, deeper and deeper relaxed. And maybe you could imagine a gentle breeze, or perhaps the feeling of that warm spring sunshine on your skin. Just get a sense that the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the more of that tension is just drifting away, melting away, enabling you to go to that place where powerful changes take place that last forever. Breathing in and breathing out, allow your shoulders to relax, your jaw to relax, that's it. Another slow breath in. And as you breathe out longer this time, imagine releasing tension from your body, just like steam from a pressure valve. Each breath softening, loosening, unwinding. I want you to get a sense that this place in nature with this frozen stream that is now flowing, this safe, private, relaxing place represents your inner world. Place where your body and mind work in harmony. That's it. So stare into that flowing stream. Effortless, natural. And the stream doesn't need to try to flow. The stream flows exactly as it needs to. The stream can't try to flow. It just does. No forcing, no holding, just ease. And I want you to get a sense that you have irrefutable evidence that your body knows how to release. Your body knows how to let go. As memories come to mind of places where, when you've been in a private place or a comfortable place, your body knew exactly what to do without trying. And what if all you need to do is nothing? Because you've been trying, concentrating, intending. But what if all you need to do is to stop trying? The more you try, the harder it becomes. But sometimes when you have permission not to try at all, a door closing on a stall, things are effortlessly easy. The very moment you stop trying, the moment you allow, everything changes. I want you to imagine the moment you stop trying to go, you find it easier to go, and you give your body full permission to not need to go at all. Nothing to do. It's the absence of doing that paradoxically increases the facilitation of ease. You're giving yourself permission to not need. And then, more often, things will just happen automatically, naturally, without thought. I want you to think of a time where you try to remember a PIN number or a password, and the harder you try to remember, the more elusive it became. But then maybe you return to that same thing and just put the password in completely automatically, that by not trying, it became easier. So you allow yourself to not try, because it was never about ability. It was about the perception, the pressure of needing to perform, to do. But you don't perform, you simply are. And being you is more than enough. Because what if there was an unconscious burden, not of judgment, but imagined judgment? The moment you're private, that imagined judgment goes away. Because people are more focused on themselves than you ever realized. You're not the center of their attention. They're caught up in their own worlds. And I want you to get a sense that you are also no longer the center of even your own judgment either. I want you to imagine, out of nowhere, you see a building next to this flowing stream. A busy, bustling place with lots of people. But I want you to imagine you see a future version of you in that busy building. And maybe it's a social place. Maybe a bar, a restaurant, a concert, or something else. I want you to imagine seeing yourself just a few days or a few weeks from now. And there seems to be a subtle shift, something very subtle. Just a slight looseness in how you move. A relaxation in your facial expressions. Very subtly more carefree and relaxed. Smiling just a little bit more, but not forcing a smile. Like this version of you seems to not care at all about the perceptions or judgment of other people, because they are aligned with themselves. And I want you to imagine seeing that version of you relaxed socially when having conversations. But then imagine seeing that same version of you walking to the restroom and deliberately choosing a urinal in close proximity to someone else. And maybe there was no choice, it's just full of people. But even if there was an opportunity to choose a stall, see that version of you deliberately choosing a urinal. And not a urinal there on the edges by the sides. The most central location of all the urinals. See that version of you confidently and relaxed and effortlessly going to the toilet as easily as you would in your own home or a private stall. I want you to get a sense that it feels like the absence of needing to do anything is facilitating an ease, a relaxation, a sense of flow. That version of you isn't even thinking about it. Any thoughts, concerns, they're parked outside of the restroom. That part of them is not welcome in. So you see in that moment, that different version of you effortlessly going to the toilet, going for that pee in that public urinal, even though there's many people there. Perhaps even people queuing behind you, just waiting for you to finish. And none of it matters. I want you to get a sense that that version of you already knows how to access the same neural pathway you use when you're going for a pee in private. But I want you to imagine stepping into that version of you 10 seconds after you finished. And then imagine rewinding everything, going all the way back out and realizing that you need to go for a pee. I want you to imagine doing it in the absence of thinking. Nothing to do, nothing to think. And you get a sense that that old part of you, that part that might get subtly tense, on edge, vigilant, that version of you knows that they simply wait outside the restroom. And the part of you that is connected with this feeling of ease and relaxation knows exactly what to do, because there is nothing needed to be done. So in your own body, just imagine walking up to that restroom mentally parking that other old version of you outside, finding that central location in the urinals. And it's almost like your mind is drifting off somewhere else, like you're on autopilot, thinking of a conversation you want to have, something you want to do. There is nothing you need to think about. It just all happens by itself. And before you know it, you've finished. And you notice there was nothing needed to be done. Your brain already knows how to do this. And you can interpret what's happened here as a sign that old fears of judgment, no matter how subtle, are now in your past, not in your present or future. And I want you to imagine that what if the changes here echo into different areas of your life? That other fears of judgment, evaluations, also melt away like that stream of ice that melts into fresh flowing water. But allow your mind to think of the most difficult place historically that it's ever been for you. Busy, many people queuing, knowing that people are waiting. See yourself doing it fine first, and then when you've seen that, rewind it, step into that version of you, and then feel how good it would feel to pee without worry, stress, pressure, nothing at all. Because in the past you were trying, and the trying made it elusive. But this is the absence of trying. And if you feel any sense, any echoes of tension, this just means that you're expanding your comfort zone. And you can smile to yourself with that bring it on mentality, refusing to back down, but nothing needed to be done. Just imagine that even if you were surrounded by people, you could imagine what it would feel like to be completely on your own by a stream, peeing straight into the water. Nothing needed to be done, just allowing nature to take its course. And I want you to get a sense that this feels like training at altitude. You come to the conclusion that if you can pee here in this public place, you can do it anywhere, at any time, no matter how busy or not. These things simply don't concern you anymore. As you come to the conclusion that this will ripple into different areas of your life, in conversations with new people, in public places, even in your mind, simply the ripple of feeling relaxed and immune to judgment feels empowering. And you already know that this is not just about urinals or peeing. It's about freedom, a new identity, a new level of ease that spreads into every part of your life. I want you to get a sense that whether this happens today, tomorrow, a week from now, or a month from now, you have the irrefutable belief that it simply will change. And when it changes, it will be evidence that you've broken the loop, rewired the pattern, that this unconscious habit is then remaining in your past, and a subtle shift to your identity is activated in the present and the future. And that version of you feels a sense of ease and flow and alignment with your natural self. And that pressure and fear of judgment, no matter how subtle, well, that belongs to the past. I want you to leave that busy building there by the stream. Return to the stream. Winter turned to spring and now summer. And I want you to imagine how good and refreshing it would be to take a dip in that stream and allow the stream to wash away any memories of the past that hold you back, rejuvenate you, make you feel fresh and new and at ease with this new version that you're becoming. But it's time to leave this stream in your imagination and begin to return to the present. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect and calibrate into the here and the now, as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting the count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.